All right, so the AI is everywhere these days, right?
It really is.
You can't get away from it.
Just blows up every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thought we would dig into this a little deeper and, look at ChatGPT and DeepSeek.
Yeah.
Two of the biggest names in the game.
Absolutely.
And try and, kind of go beyond the hype.
Right, get to the nuts and bolts.
And, really understand what makes them tick.
Yeah, what can they do?
Right, and what they're good at and what they're maybe not so good at.
What are they good for?
Right.
What are their strengths and weaknesses?
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
And for this deep dive, we took a close look at a recent discussion comparing them.
Yeah, a good comparison.
Highlighted some of their features, the advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
And so, really our goal today is to kind of distill this down.
Yeah.
And give you the key nuggets so that you can understand which one might be more suitable for your needs.
You got to.
So maybe you're creative, maybe you do a lot of factual research. Maybe it's something else entirely.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
What are these things?
What are ChatGPT and DeepSeek?
Let's start with that.
Okay, so ChatGPT first. Mm-hmm. It's a conversational AI. It's been through a few versions now. It's from OpenAI.
And people use it all over the world, right?
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. It seems like everyone is using it.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And this is the AI that can basically, you can have a conversation with it. It can generate human-like text.
Yeah, you can write all sorts of things.
Yeah, it can help you code.
You can answer questions.
It can do so many things.
Yeah, it's really versatile.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's ChatGPT.
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek.
It's a little bit newer. It's coming to us from a research group in China.
Okay.
And they're really focused on advanced natural language understanding.
Okay.
So this AI is really built to understand the complexities of language.
Wow.
It's known for being able to process complex queries, and then to provide research-based answers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, both of these are clearly very powerful.
Definitely.
But it sounds like they have distinct strengths.
Yeah, they both have their advantages.
So let's dig into the advantages of each.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's start with ChatGPT.
Okay.
What makes this so popular?
Well, I think right out of the gate, it's just easy to use.
Okay.
OpenAI has really tried to make this accessible.
Okay.
So you can go to their website, you can use it through their mobile apps. Mm-hmm. You can even integrate it into other software with its API.
So what's an API for those of us who aren't, coders and programmers?
It's basically just a way for different programs to talk to each other.
Okay.
So you could use ChatGPT and other software to use.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't need any special technical skills. It's really designed to be very intuitive.
Okay.
To use.
And then, you think about the creative side of this.
Yes.
This is where ChatGPT really shines.
Yeah.
If you need a poem, if you need a story, if you need some marketing copy, you need help brainstorming ideas,
ChatGPT can do that.
ChatGPT can do all of that.
It can write scripts. It can draft content.
Yeah.
It can just get your creative juices flowing.
It can, and for those people out there who do any coding, it can help you there too, right?
Yeah, it's a really good tool for developers. A lot of people use it for debugging.
Okay.
So finding and fixing errors in their code.
Wow.
It can generate code snippets. So small pieces of code that you might need.
Okay.
And it can even explain programming concepts.
Wow.
It's really a very versatile tool.
And it integrates well with other tools that people are using.
Yes.
Like you mentioned APIs, but it works with Notion. It works with Slack.
It does.
So it's already kind of baked in to a lot of workflows.
Yeah.
And it's getting better all the time, right?
Yes, OpenAI is constantly releasing updates and improvements. So, if you're using it a month from now, it's going to be even better than it is today.
Yeah.
So
that's ChatGPT.
All right, now let's take a look at DeepSeek.
DeepSeek?
What's good about DeepSeek?
Yeah, what are its advantages?
So one of the big ones is it's really focused on accuracy.
Okay.
Particularly when it comes to providing factual information. So ChatGPT sometimes can, generate information that isn't entirely accurate.
Right, it can make stuff up.
Yeah, sometimes it hallucinates.
Which is a little scary when you think about it.
Yeah, it confidently states things that aren't true.
Yeah.
DeepSeek really tries to avoid that.
Okay.
So it's engineered to provide more reliable answers. that are backed by research.
So it's really focused on the facts.
It is.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so if you're using it for something where factual correctness is really important,
Yeah.
that's a big advantage.
Okay, and what about languages? Can it handle multiple languages?
Yes. Yes, it can.
Okay.
It's got some impressive multilingual support.
Okay.
And actually some sources that we've looked at suggest that it might even handle nuances in some languages better than ChatGPT.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that it's known for is its ability to retrieve documents.
Yes, document retrieval.
So explain that to me. What does that mean?
So, if you've got a whole bunch of documents
Okay.
and you're looking for a specific piece of information,
Yeah.
DeepSeek is really good at going through all of those documents
Okay.
and finding the information that you need.
So it can sift through a lot of stuff quickly.
It can.
Wow.
Yeah, so for students, researchers, anybody who deals with a lot of documents,
Right.
that's a big time saver.
And it's supposedly very affordable.
Yeah, it's reportedly optimized for low-cost operation.
Right.
So if you're a business or you're thinking about large-scale applications of AI, this might be a more affordable option.
Okay, so we've looked at the good.
We have.
Let's look at the not so good.
Okay.
Let's start with ChatGPT.
Right.
What are some of the downsides?
Well, we already mentioned the accuracy issues.
Right.
So that's definitely something to be aware of.
Yeah.
You always want to double check anything that ChatGPT generates,
Especially if it's something important.
especially if it's important.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep in mind is that its knowledge is limited by the data it was trained on.
So it only knows what it's been fed.
Right. Okay. So if you're asking about something that happened yesterday, it might not have that information.
Okay.
It's not constantly updating.
It's not live.
It's not live.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there are also, ethical concerns
Right.
that come along with this. It can generate biased responses.
Because it's trained on biased data.
So again, it reflects what it's been fed.
Right.
Right.
It's only as good as the data it's been given.
And so, for those people who are doing, really specialized research, like deep academic research or scientific research, it's not as good for that.
No, it's better for general knowledge.
Right.
And creative tasks.
Right.
Than it is for really in-depth,
Okay.
academic or scientific research.
And then, of course, there's the cost.
The cost.
The free version is limited.
Yeah.
And then if you want the good stuff,
You got to pay.
you got to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are some of the downsides of ChatGPT.
All right. How about DeepSeek?
DeepSeek.
What do you got there?
What are its downsides?
Well, it's a newer model,
Okay.
so it hasn't been tested as much.
Okay.
It hasn't been used by as many people.
Right.
So there might be some limitations, or unexpected quirks that we haven't discovered yet,
Right.
because it just hasn't been used as widely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not as user friendly.
No.
Some versions of it require more technical knowledge.
Yeah.
So, for the average person, ChatGPT is probably easier to use.
It is. It's more intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the creative side,
Yeah.
it's not as good.
No, not as good.
It can't, write you a funny story
No.
or come up with a joke.
Right.
It's really focused on, retrieving information and processing information.
Yeah, factual information.
Yeah.
And research.
Right. And then even though it's multilingual,
Yes.
it's not as fluent in some languages.
Right.
And it doesn't handle like the idioms
Right.
and the cultural nuances
The subtleties of language.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've laid it all out.
We have
The good, the bad.
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
How does a person decide
Right.
which one is better for them?
Well, it really depends
On your needs.
on your needs
Yeah.
and what you want to do with it.
Right. If you're looking to just, have conversations,
Yeah.
or you need help with creative projects,
Uh-huh.
maybe ChatGPT is a better place to start.
Yeah, it's easy to use and it's creative.
Yeah.
So that's a good option.
But if you need accuracy, you need multilingual support.
Yes.
You need those research-based responses.
Uh-huh.
Maybe DeepSeek is better.
Yeah.
Businesses that need reliable information,
Right.
they might like DeepSeek.
Yeah.
But creative people, developers, they might still prefer ChatGPT.
It's possible.
And we have to keep in mind that this is all changing so quickly.
Yeah.
These models are constantly being updated.
Constantly evolving.
So what we've said today might be different in a month.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a fast-moving field.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's on the horizon for these AI chatbots?
Well, one thing that I'm really interested in is the potential for hybrid models. So imagine an AI system that combines the creative flair and accessibility of ChatGPT with the factual rigor and multilingual capabilities of DeepSeek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The best of both worlds.
That would be pretty amazing.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
What else might we see down the line?
Well, I think we'll continue to see improvements in language understanding.
Okay.
And the ability of these AI chatbots to respond in different languages.
Okay.
And to be more nuanced and culturally aware.
Okay, so more sensitive to the different ways that people use language all over the world.
Right.
That's great.
And I think we'll see more personalization too.
Oh, okay.
These AI models will learn from your interactions.
Okay.
And they'll be able to provide you with more personalized responses.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to think about where this is all headed.
It's a dynamic field.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully this deep dive has given you a better understanding of ChatGPT and DeepSeek.
Exactly.
They both have advantages. They both have disadvantages.
I do.
And understanding those differences can help you choose the right tool
You got
for the job.
That's the goal.
Yeah. So here's a final thought for you.
Okay.
As you're, going about your work and your life and, thinking about these AI models, what combination of capabilities do you think would be the most valuable in the future?
Yeah.
So we talked about creativity, accuracy, multilingualism, user friendliness, all these things.
Right.
What combination would be like the killer app?
The Holy Grail.
Yeah. And how would that impact, your work, your learning, your personal interests?
Interesting.
Yeah, something to think about. All right, that's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.
See you later.